Giving all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem HaRachakodash. Say double honors to our apostles and elders, her great millstone. Peace and blessings to the Lord's hopefully elect. As always, just a reminder that in this truth of ours, knowing it is only half the battle. And the brothers was talking about that at camp, and I want to dedicate that to a quick one. As James chapter 1 says, verse 21, wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word which is able to save your souls. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. Because there's two parts. Once you know the truth, you then have to apply it in your everyday life. Otherwise, you're just a hearer, and you're deceiving your own self. For if any be a hearer of the word, and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his face, his natural face in a glass. For he beholdeth himself, and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. So you look in the mirror, you're saying, I'm this type of person, I fear the Lord, I got the truth. But once you go out into your everyday walk, you basically just go back to being who you were before, the old you, the old man. So you're only deceiving yourself. So it's best to be a doer versus just being a hearer. Because knowing the truth, that's only half the battle. You then have to apply, you then have to endure. As the scripture says, that this is a race, but it's not a sprint. This is a marathon. And some marathons last for hours. So you have to pace yourself and be temperate in all things, as those who run a marathon are. But whoso looketh into the perfect law of liberty, and continuing therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deed. So that's how you get blessed, is to continue therein and apply. You have to apply, you have to continue therein, because the Lord talks about those who were in the truth, received the truth, they're righteous, but then they go off to be wicked. It said what their righteousness will be forgotten, because you have to endure all the way to the end. It's a race of endurance. It's not about just obtaining the knowledge. You also have to apply it. And once you come into the fact that you're an Israelite, what should click in your head is to understand that this is it. There is nothing else. This is not a trend, as some people who leave the truth say, oh, I'm no longer an Israelite. I did it for a few years, but I'm not into that no more. How are you no longer an Israelite? That proves you never really knew what you were involved in. Because once you know who you are, and that you were given the commandments from the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, on how to live, then that's what you're supposed to do. It's not a trend where you just say, I'm not an Israelite anymore, huh? It's not a mental thing. It's not you could say a spiritual group. It's a awakening. It's a nationality. It's who you are. So you don't want to be a forgetful hearer. It says, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed indeed. So it's one thing to hear and to receive and to listen, which is the beginning. And it's another to apply it, to walk in it, and to continue therein, not just for a short space, but to continue therein. Because indeed, knowing the truth, that really is only half the battle. Because now you have to endure with your eyes being enlightened to the truth. And as the scripture says, he that increases wisdom increases sorrow. It says there is a wisdom that increases bitterness. So prepare to wake up from the matrix and to see things for what they are, and to sigh and cry continually for the evils that are done thereof, all the while walking in the spirit, abstaining to fulfill the lust of the flesh, and to keep yourself spotless. Yes, it's a battle of endurance. And if you are just a hearer of the word, you are only deceiving yourself. And you don't want to be that. Romans 2, verse 13. For not the hearers of the law are justified before Yahweh, but the doers of the law shall be justified. So remember, the Lord said that he called earth and heaven and earth as a witness. We all were in the mountains. We all heard the Lord when he broke down the laws, commandments, statutes, and commandments to us. But what matters is if we applied it. That's what mattered. And that's when the Lord got angry at us, because we didn't apply it. We went to serve other gods immediately and gave praise and the glory of being delivered from Egypt to idols made with hands. So though we're the Lord's people, we weren't justified in His sight because we went off. So it's about application of the scriptures. And that's what wisdom is. Wisdom is having knowledge and applying it. It's one thing to have knowledge, and to apply it, that's what wisdom is. Matthew chapter 7, Yahushua speaking in verse 21. Not everyone that said to me, Lord, Lord, shall enter the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works? And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. So it's one thing to know, and it's another thing to apply, and you have to do what the Lord said to do. Remember what Saul did. Saul, though he was anointed by the Lord, though he knew he was an Israelite, though he went out to war, say like with Amalek, and he was given a straight commandment to slay all, spare none for the judgment, he decided to what? Spare the best of the flock, to sacrifice it to the Lord, and to save the king. And in his mind, he said, when Samuel came to rebuke him, he said, no, I did what the Lord told us to do. I went over there and I took him down. But here's what I did. I went ahead and saved the best of the flock. I'm going to give that to the Lord. And then I saved the king. And Samuel said, better is it to obey than to sacrifice. So you got a bunch of Israelites right here today who saying, Lord, Lord. They claim they think they're doing the will of the Lord, but they're not. They're doing to fulfill their own bellies. And when the Lord returns, they're going to say these very same things. But Lord, didn't we do all these things for in your name's sake? The Lord said, I never knew you, because I never told you to get a 501c3. I never told you to make up your own doctrines, to add and take away from the scriptures, to my commandments, to my book. I never told you to do away with my name and teach that my name is the real. I never told you to do that. The hell's the matter with you? That's what he's going to say. But he says, I will liken unto him a wise man which built his house upon a rock, and the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded by a rock. And that rock is the foundation, which is Yahushua. The house represents your body. The rain is descending. That's all the temptations and the wiles of the serpent that's being thrown at you throughout your walk. And it's all about enduring unto the end. It's just like when people practice for football and they take the ball and they have to practice getting hit or getting touched while still striving forward. So that training, what they do, they grab the ball and they run straight, and then the teammates with their little mats, as he's running, they're just hitting him with enough force to keep him being able to sprint forward while getting hit left and right. That's how this truth is to get you to the goal. If your house is built upon a rock, which is Yahushua, you're going to withstand the wiles of the serpent and the devil, and you're going to make it through and endure to the end. But it's all about application. It's about applying. Verse 26. And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not, so again, they're just hearers of the word, not doers, shall be likened unto a foolish man which built his house upon the sand. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. Just like it also says, in Proverbs 24:10. If thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small. Just like he said, great shall be the overthrow of that house, which is you. And then James chapter 4, verse 17. Therefore, to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin. So you know the truth, but you don't apply it. You know to do good, but you don't. To you, it is sin. So you could say, well, I know it, but you didn't apply it. And as it is, better is to do than to just be a forgetful hearer. For it's the doers of the law that are justified, not the hearers. So indeed, with that, shalom.